To start off the month of October and leaning more towards Halloween, I'll be doing a lot of more horror matchups than I usually do. Even though my channel does have a lot of horror matchups, but it's pretty much going to be non-stop horror up until Halloween. Why not get a classic cryptid monster matchup out of the way? And this particular one I've actually done before, but I just felt like doing this one again to give a recap of how good this matchup is. Today we have the Werewolf from the European mythology taking on the Wendigo from the Native American mythology. I'll be using an alpha werewolf versus an ancient Wendigo. We're going to have them at their best and at their strongest. If y'all like videos like this, please consider subscribing if you're not already. Comment, like my videos, share my videos with your friends. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Strength-wise, werewolves are extremely strong. They can casually maul and rip people apart with their bare hands. They can tear through other large animals, rip through massive trees, toss boulders, rip through buildings, and physically contend, if not overpower, older vampires. Werewolves are extremely fast and agile. They can casually blitz people, outrace them even on horseback, dodge point-blank gunfire, move faster than the eye can track, or even if the eye does track them, they move as a blur, and they can keep up with vampires. Werewolves are extremely resilient to conventional weaponry to the point where they can power through, if not ignore, stabs, bullets, blunt force trauma, and it's pretty sure that it's the most effective way of harming them is by using fire, silver bullets, or blades. Like, that's your best way to either harm or kill one. Werewolves are apex predators and are usually depicted as one of the most remarkable hunters and trackers in all of mythology. They're very skilled in stealth attacks, tracking, hunting, and other animalistic traits. With their massive size ranging anywhere from 7 to 10 feet tall, werewolves are equipped with their massive teeth and claws. They have enhanced senses to the point where they can track you anywhere as long as they have your scent. They can see for miles. They have a poisonous bite, accelerated healing factor, and are absolutely relentless in the hunt, and are depicted as fearless and super vicious. Given their supernatural status, Wendigos can casually rip people apart. They can tear through other large animals. They can toss boulders, rip through trees, and rip through buildings. And Wendigos are depicted as so big that they can actually knock over trees just by walking. They can casually blitz people. They can move faster than the fastest winds of a hurricane. They can dodge point-blank gunfire and can move faster than the eye can track. They can power through, if not ignore, stabs, gunshots, blunt force trauma, and other conventional means of weaponry. And the most effective way of harming or killing one is with silver weaponry or fire. Wendigos are top-tier hunters and trackers, and are also depicted as one of the best hunters and trackers of all mythology. They're very skilled in stealth attacks, hunting, tracking, and other animalistic traits. With their massive size ranging anywhere from 10 to 15 feet tall, Wendigos are equipped with massive teeth and claws, enhanced senses. They can track their prey anywhere as long as they have a sight. They can sometimes mimic the appearance of people, mimic voices, They also have slight times of minor time control, meaning that they can sometimes slow down time if they choose to. They can control ice, like freezing stuff with just a touch. They have an accelerated healing factor. They can also shapeshift into like mist, cast illusions, turn into fog, and are extremely vicious and are cursed to forever roam the earth with a hunger and greed that will never be satisfied. As the pale moonlight comes to the trees of the cold autumn night, the lone hiker zips his jacket up and tucks his scarf. He then turns his head to the left as he hears a deep, long howl come from the tree line. He begins to run before blood is splattered against a tree as the man's head is suddenly ripped off. A towering, skinny, and decaying-looking monster is seen picking the man's corpse up and ripping it into pieces. Before it can begin eating, a deep growl comes from behind the monster. As it turns around, a blur of teeth and fur comes charging through the tree line and tackles the Wendigo to the ground. The Wendigo grabs the monster by the throat and flings it into a tree. As both monsters get to their feet, they begin slowly circling each other. As the taller Wendigo glares down at the ravenous werewolf, and both dare each other to attack. Both monsters roar and charge, exchanging blows, slashes, and bites, ripping chunks off of each other. The Wendigo uses his antlers to stab into the werewolf's abdomen as it slams into a tree. The werewolf gets his bearings and then uses his claws to slash off the antlers and bites into one of the arms of the Wendigo and rips it off at the forearm. The Wendigo uses its remaining arm to stab the monster in the chest with it. The Wendigo then begins to morph its arm into ice as the werewolf's roars of agony get louder as its chest is quickly frozen and moved up all the way up to its neck. The werewolf then snarls and barks until its head is suddenly ripped off and swallowed whole. In terms of physicality and speed, I think they're relatively even. Wendigo has the size advantage on its side, and it also has the edge and hacks at its disposal, meaning that it can not only deliver more damage, but is more versatile in its attack. So, this would be an extremely entertaining, bloody fight, as both of them rip each other apart, but due to its size, hacks advantage, I give this fight to the Wendigo. Victor, the Wendigo. Anyways, guys, thank y'all for listening to my video. Y'all stay safe. I'll see you on the next one.